Hello there, and welcome to another video of Random Video Game Repair, Episode 4. We're going to spin the wheel, see what game we are going to fix, and try to fix it. Game Boy Color game again. Let's go. And let us see what video game color game we'll be working on today. Okay, looks like we'll be trying to fix on Test Drive Le Mans. Before we begin, quick disclaimer, I am neither a professional nor an expert, and I am still learning as I go. So take this video with a grain of salt, and perhaps we will all learn something. Let's test it out first, see what the issues are, and see if we can diagnose it. Let's test her out and see what we can do. Got our Game Boy Color, and pop it in, and does it do anything? Okay. And nothing. Okay, interesting. So when it has the Game Boy logo and the Nintendo logo, that means that it is reading the ROM chip and displaying the hexadecimal code thing, I think it's called. It's a security code, which will tell the Game Boy if the game cartridge is legitimate or not. And that Nintendo logo has to be picture perfect in order for the game to read it, and in order for the game to say, hey, okay, this has been digitally signed by Nintendo. So we're getting to that point, but we're not going fully into the game. Now what we have to do is open it up. Just grab our 3.8 millimeter game bit adapter, and we are in. Just slides down, and okay. Little crustiness on the back. I've been noticing on these Game Boy Color games that they like to leave the flux heavy on there. I don't know if that's been repaired or replaced. Maybe this is light down here, the traces here. Huh. So you can definitely tell a line of wear across these pins. Okay. Cartridge reader pins don't look too bad, but that is the second step we always take. First we test, then we clean, just to rule that out first. And what I like to use is some glass stovetop cleaner by Wyman. It does a really good job. It's not super abrasive, and I think it works great. Put a little on the Q-tip. Move you guys all the way down here. And we'll put the game sideways. Just go ahead and coat the pins and go to town. And we're already getting some gookiness, so yep, definitely getting some gunk off there. Now what we do is we just take some 91% isopropyl alcohol and we clean off the residue. Let's get a little bit up there. Yep, definitely got some dust and debris off there. And there we go. And I don't know exactly what this little doodad here is, if it's like extra flux or something caked on there. Yeah. It came off, so who knows. Relatively happy with that, and I guess we'll go ahead and test it out again. Imagine if that was the issue. Can we get Le Mans working again? After Side Pocket, this would be a really easy challenge, a really easy test of our skills. 3, 2, 1. Nope, okay. Now I would assume because usually when these games show signs of not communicating, it's a little bit different on these, but I believe these are SRAMs, and the SRAM is powered by the battery, and the battery charges to 3 point some odd volts, sends electricity into here, and this stores all your save data, so you can track what cars and testing on your Le Mans game is doing. But, we can disregard that because this would be affected. Had to put my phone into airplane mode. Quality content. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The SRAM would hold all the game data. So presuming with this game, all your track information, car and times and whatever. And this is what the SRAM does, and it's powered by this. We can ignore that. This is the ROM chip itself. The ROM chip holds all the information of the game, all the brains of it. Now this is the MBC chip, and this one in particular is an MBC5 chip. The way that the MBC5 chip it works is, as far as I understand it, these ROM chips were not that big, so they had to store code, I don't know, parallel, I don't know how it works, but this little chip switches the lines of code in the ROM. So if we're getting the security in here, then this thing is probably switching over to certain codes. And I'm assuming right now that this chip probably has a bent pin, or a missing pin rather. Some like loose solder connection or something. It could also be maybe on the mapper, but we probably will stick to just the ROM chip. Make sure all the pins are not loose, and then go from there. It should be fairly easy. So we'll switch out to the microscope, give it a shot, and see how it looks. And here we are. Soldered up, found that loose pin on the ROM chip, went a little bit heavy-handed and scratched a little bit of the solder mask over here, but that's okay, we'll just ignore that. And everything seems to be good and lined up. There are no bridges that I can tell. Think we did okay. Now the question will be, was it just that pin? Because I've had a loose pin before and there was more problems. Also, before we put the game in, I just want to take note of Le Mans 24-hour race. Right? I don't think you'd be playing the Game Boy for 24 hours. I'm just saying. So I don't know how that works. There we go. Info Gamers. This gets dusty like nobody's business. All right. Developed by Fernando Velez and somebody else. USA, USA, USA. What is this soundtrack? I don't know if it's catchy or irritating. I have no idea what's happening. I think that's the Eye of London, so it must be in Italy. Almost looks like Borderlands. It looks like a Borderlands car. You know, with that cell shading. Huh, interesting. I think the graphics are kind of nice too on the background. That's pretty neat. You hit the house and your car just goes. It's like getting a speed bump. Okay. I would assume this game can get pretty boring pretty fast, considering how much time is this? Lap 1 of what? And now we see, does the battery actually work? Oh, load a game. Game 1 or game 2. All right. Well, we did it. We saved Le Mans or Le Mans or Le Mas, whatever that is in French. Well, there we go. Le Mans, Le Mans, Le Mans, whatever it is. It is finished and fixed. Yay! Thanks for watching. God bless.